Look, if the game is bad and you want the studio to succeed, they're just going to keep on making more of the game that you don't want. This is what you guys have to understand. You have to wake up to this. Welcome back, everybody. So I want you guys to have a look at this skull over here. So today's video, we are going to be talking about this very, very strange fixation that Western gamers seem to have. They have this blind loyalty to companies, and they feel bad when the games or the studio they've been loyal to for years and decades betrays them, and they feel hurt or they feel bad for criticizing a game. And the thing that you guys have to understand, these studios, these companies, you don't owe them anything. If a studio betrays your trust, if you, for some reason, do not like the direction a game is taking, you don't have to compromise yourself and your values and your beliefs and your dollar as a customer. If you are seeing a game is going on the wrong track, it is absolutely your right as a customer to voice your concerns about where the game is going. And if the studio decides not to listen to you, you have every single right to tell that studio to go, right? So today we're going to be watching this guy reacting to he has this sense of betrayal and attachment to the studio. That's the studio that's making Avowed. It's coming out very, very shortly. If not by the time this video comes out, it will be on Game Pass. I might actually be playing it. I have not been a fan of the game because I don't like the look of the game. It does look very generic. I'm showing you guys this skull in the background as a point of reference because I also believe that they used AI art to design the cover of their game. This was with Midjourney version 4 or version 5. I think it was with version 4. So without further ado, let's get into the video. And if you guys enjoy the video, please make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and please share the videos, because YouTube is always up and down whether or not they're recommending videos or not, regardless of how popular the topic is. So let's get into it.
I originally wanted to talk about something positive in the gaming world, but circumstances are such that something's been brought to my attention that I have to address because it is a matter of great importance to me, namely the game Avowed, made by Obsidian and ultimately published by Microsoft. You see, I've made no secret of the fact that I am a strong advocate for Avowed.
Alright, so like many gamers today, he has a sense of identity tied to the game. And right now he kind of feels either betrayed or let down by the studio.
Because I have my biases. I'm
sorry, man. Like, I've seen this game in development for a while. Nothing of the game has ever got my attention. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about Western studios, but there is a very, very look to Western games. All right, for a second, it took me a moment to realize that this was not a bearded woman, boobs, beard. She is a fawn, so she's half human, half deer, whatever. That took me a moment, but look, there's nothing attention-grabbing about these characters. There's no interesting silhouette being cast by this diverse cast of characters. Nothing unique or special about any of these characters.
very invested in the world of Aora, the world of...
You guys know how I feel about magenta. If there's magenta in the game, if it stands out like a sore thumb, it is DEI'd.
Pillars of Eternity, and I was overjoyed originally when I found out that the setting would be continued in one shape or form.
This is one of your characters Where is the uniqueness? What is special about your character? Look, regardless of how you feel about Tash, she does look kind of unique. She does actually stand out. This does not stand out. This is generic as hell.
Form or another.
All right, so look, this is the Avowed skull. I got so freaking roasted when I said that this was AI designed. Look at this! That's freaking AI. You cannot tell me that this was not designed with AI. This is exactly the freaking skull that I designed last year. This is AI driven, all right? Again, I don't care that they used AI, but they're trying to act like this was not made with freaking cheap as hell AI. Look at this garbage freaking sword. Look at the hilt. This is not something that a person designed, an artist designed. This is made with Midjourney.
Just want to make that clear at the outset. I'm very biased when it comes to Avowed because I really like Pillars of Eternity. However, something has come to light that is very disconcerting. Yesterday, Avowed was made officially available on Steam.
This is nice to you guys. You guys are interested in this game. I mean, I am going to play it because it will be on Game Pass, and I'd be a sucker to not play the game for freaking free and trash it if it is trash, but this is not an appealing game.
And to my great disappointment and consternation, I saw unmeasured and unjustified prices there. What I'm specifically talking about is one...
Come on, man. Come on. What are we doing here? What the hell are we doing?
The fact that the base game costs 70 euros, and many people have made the argument that after years of the standard static 60 euros for a AAA,
the magenta rot is deep in this game. So I haven't really heard anything woke about the game or whatever, but this is generic slop. This is generic slop.
game price, that this was simply bound to shift. And indeed, there
Come on, let's see that kick again.
simply bound to shift.
It's so crappy,
And
man.
indeed,
It's
there
so...
have been many AAA games that have been priced at 70 euros. But my issue with this specifically is that, as far as I'm aware, Avowed is a short to medium length adventure. And I'm not 100% positive about this, mind you. But my impression and my understanding is that Avowed is something like 30 to 40 hours of gameplay.
If it is 30 to 40 hours, your time is spared, all right? Don't let them waste your time if this game is bad.
If you do everything, which has its advantages and benefits.
Everywhere
Make no
is
mistake,
magenta.
this
Everywhere
is the type of RPG that has a lot of, at least potentially, replayability in case you want to experience different endings, join different factions, that sort of thing.
A perfect spot to pause it on. Guys, you have to start thinking like Japan. You have to start thinking like the East. You have to start thinking like Korea, because this crap is cheese, man.
And the 30 to 40 hour benchmark is really, really good for that. On the other hand, given the probable duration of this game, I think that the 70 euro price mark is too much. If Avowed had been 60 euros, or even 50, because I think 50 might be justified, but let's say 60 euros, this would
AI slop.
have been much more reasonable. But I think 70 euros is just too much. That's just my take.
Bro, just pay Game Pass for the month. It's usually free if you've never had it.
On top of that, and something that I think is even more egregious, is this weird pre-order bonus that they've announced. Now, if you really want Avowed early, which is something like 5 days earlier, or probably more like 4 days earlier, you can pay a premium of 20 extra euros, making the game 90 euros. And what do you get apart from being able to play it early? You get some lousy...
Can we go back to that scale? crappy looking skeleton. This is unique to you. This stands out. This might as well be an NPC in the background.
You get some lousy and lackluster cosmetic skins that are
These are all right. So what I had said before was bad, but now that we understand that these skins are your pre-order skins, are you stupid? Are you going to spend that extra money to get these generic looking skins for your generic looking characters? Come on, man. Go play Stellar Blade.
related to the previous Pillars of Eternity games. Now, if you have the money and if you love Pillars of Eternity and you just don't care any of the time, I guess
I
you
haven't
can
played
do
that game.
this. But to my mind, this is very pernicious marketing. These are not
Ooh,
fair.
hold
You
on,
can
hold
do
on.
this, but to my mind,
Let's look at that kick.
I'm.
Okay, let's look at that kick.
I guess you can do this, but to
Okay, pay attention right here.
my mind, this is very pernicious
Wow, what a...
marketing. These are not fair and just prices, and I don't blame Obsidian themselves for this. Developers, programmers, artists don't make this type of policy. This is almost entirely, almost certainly, on people like Phil Spencer and the corpos at Microsoft. Now, there is a method to this madness, though. This isn't just random, this isn't just pure greed, although it is certainly motivated and pushed by greed, because what I think is happening here is these prices are so exorbitant, so ridiculous, because they want to promote and push Game Pass. Because you can then just... Because they want to promote and push Game Pass. Because you can then...
The magenta one. The color out of space. Don't waste your money. Just get Game Pass, play the game until you're tired of it, and move on. Stop crying.
Just play Avowed on Game Pass without having to shell out all that money to quote-unquote own it on Steam. Although technically you don't own it, that's a different subject for another time. And so if I had to guess, what the corpos are thinking is, well, maybe not so many people will buy
All I see, man, every frame
this
is
game on Steam or
magenta.
GOG or other
The
platforms.
DEI color.
But if they really want to play this game, maybe they'll give us a subscription on Game Pass.
Show me a frame that doesn't have
Game Pass is what they really want to grow at this stage. They want to see how much they can get out of Game Pass by making, in part, the price of the basic game for normal PC players exorbitantly high. And here's the thing. For those of us who are, to be perfectly blunt, devoted acolytes of the Pillars of Eternity universe, I will be getting the game because this is a series and setting that I am heavily invested
it. Stop crying about the games. Stop crying about the games. Don't let them waste your money and don't let them waste your time. You know how the game looks. You know how they're going to be.
in. Mind you, I will not pre-order this. I will not buy the early access version. 90 euros for a game that is probably something like 35 hours long is, in my humble opinion, utterly ridiculous. And so I'm sort of two minds here. On the one hand, I cannot for the life of me condone the pricing or this ridiculously bad deal for early access.
But
you get to play it 4 to 5 days earlier and you get some dumpy skins and you have to pay 20 euros more for that. There are DLCs that cost that much.
So these are skins that you get with your pre-order bonus. You have this crappy skin.
There are DLCs that cost that.
And then you have this crappy skin. Stellar Blade is releasing Nier Automata DLC on the 20th with their photo mode. The DLC will be paid for. I honestly don't really care because Stellar Blade is such a great game that I will be dishing out whatever it's going to cost to buy the Nier Automata DLC. But they're also giving in a whole bunch of different new skins that are not paid for And that is how you build gamers' loyalty and trust. But again, if they ever betray my trust, I'm not going to be loyal to them. I'm not going to give them more money. And you're damn right, I will be shitting on Stellar Blade 2 if it becomes a DEI mess and they give me this fat ass as a player character.
Much that offer more content. So I really can't condone that. It's ridiculous. On the other hand, I want Avowed to succeed because, to be honest, I love the universal pillars of eternity.
Look, if the game is bad and you want the studio to succeed, they're just going to keep on making more of the game that you don't want. This is what you guys have to understand. You have to wake up to this. If you keep on paying them, look, I'm a gaming channel. I make money. At least I try to make money off of the videos that I review. So me buying Dragon Age the Veilguard, I made 4 times the money that I spent buying the game. So I kept the game, kept making videos on the game because the game keeps on making me money. So game reviewers, we are justified in wasting our money on these things. But regular game players, if something doesn't look good to you, go for something else. Wait for a sale. I don't work for Kotaku, I don't work for IGN. I'm giving you always my honest opinions on the games that I am playing.
And if it doesn't do well financially, it's unlikely that Microsoft will greenlight any future projects in the world of Aora.
Oh well.
And so I'm torn here, to be perfectly honest.
Don't be torn, bro.
But I have
Don't
to stay
be torn.
honest and sincere. I am very biased when it comes to Avowed. I perfectly and totally understand if you think this is overpriced, because it is, and you don't want to play this game. Even if this game were amazing and the Game of the Year candidate, which I don't think it will be because it's going to be very niche and appeal to a certain crowd, but let's say it were that, you probably should still wait for a sale. These prices are not reasonable. However, I will be buying the game, I will be playing the game,
again,
and I probably will make
will
a
be on
review
Game Pass
about the game and talk a lot about the lore and the characters and what have you. So I'm definitely personally invested in this game. But if you don't have the background in Pillars of Eternity or the interest in the setting, I can scarcely see how this would be a justifiable purchase for you.
It's so unfortunate, man, how activists have destroyed Western gaming, and Western gamers are now torn between these crappy games.
Because you just don't have the same level of investment or the background. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe this is the best game since sliced bread, but my expectation is that it's going to be a pretty good game for most people and an excellent game for the aficionados of the
pretty good is not worth $70, 70 euros.
Pillars of Eternity universe. And that's just not a universal hit, so these prices are not justified. I thought it was important to bring this to your attention. The current pricing might be symbolic and might actually be a sort of harbinger of things to come in the gaming world when it comes to pricing, because it's not unlikely that in the
unless
future,
you guys stop
most
wasting your
AAA
money on this
games
crap,
will cost 70 euros, which is a steep price indeed to pay. People will argue it's due to development costs, inflation. There are a lot of factors there which might be worthy of a video on its own, but let me know what you think in the comment section. I think this is way too overpriced, even if you're a fan of the series.
Alright, so he keeps on going on about the same things from here. So look, like I said, guys, you guys, the customer is always the most powerful activist. Why? Because we have the money. Without our money, these studios cannot succeed. And these studios have been proving to us for the past few years that they do not give a crap about you. All they want to do is push a message. And if you don't care about that message, stop supporting these studios. It really is that simple. There is no end to how many games you guys could play. Have you guys cleared your backlog? Completely doubtful. Alright, I'm beating a dead horse at this point. I likely will be playing this game on day one when it comes out, the official release, not the pre-order date. because it will be on Game Pass. If you guys want to see what the game will be like, if you guys want to see my take on the game, like, subscribe, turn on your notifications. These companies are not your friends. Are you an employee? Stop acting like you have some sort of investment in these games. Alright guys, I'm getting a bit dizzy. I missed the meal today. I appreciate you guys giving some of your time today. Come back for the next video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Giga Vega, Michael, out. Alright man, that's enough of that BS.